Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country.
But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals. And we're taking them out of the country at a level and at a rate that's never happened before.
The American dream. It's an ever-changing concept. The perfect home, the perfect family, the perfect life, all wrapped up in a white picket fence. It's a dream to many, a reality of some, and attainable for few. For decades, immigrants from across the globe have shared this dream, longing to find a brighter future here in the United States, however that may look for them. They long for and hope to find the peace and comfort that they may not have been granted in their home country. Sadly, this remains a dream for many. Forces within our country continue to work to prevent immigrants from ever truly prospering in America. In the past 2 decades, the fear of deportation in the immigrant families has skyrocketed amid America's ever-changing laws.
Within the past 20 years, America has a significant increase in deportation, many being immigrants who have not done anything lawfully wrong within the U.S. deportation system. America claims this excessive deportation system is to protect our citizens from dangerous foreigners. However, this simply is a means to justify unlawful decisions. In reality, they are deporting more lawful immigrants than actual criminals that reside with the U.S. deportation policies.
One misconception about the immigrant community is that they have not made an effort to strive towards becoming legal Americans. Many push the narrative that immigrants are lazy and don't contribute anything to society, an extremely large generalization of just one community. Regardless, there are still many hardworking citizens whose efforts to become legal get discredited even further because of the stigma. Despite being undocumented, many immigrants go to extreme lengths to gain legal status, but the process takes a substantial amount of time. In some cases, while immigrants are waiting to be legalized, they get deported. Even if an immigrant has made a home of America for years, they are still at risk of the ever-changing deportation policy. Excessive deportation not only affects those who were deported, but the families they must leave behind.
Generous approach to immigration. The unique genius of our country throughout our history has been that more than any other country in the history of the earth, we have welcomed immigrants to our shores, and it's been a key ingredient in the success of the country. And down over the last couple of decades where there is no line for an immigrant who wants to be a citizen to get into, and people are forced to live in the shadows. They can't pay taxes because they're not legal. So legalizing the undocumented population in the United States would be good for those immigrants and make their lives better, but would also be good for our country.
Understanding where a person comes from and the differences in our culture helps build a larger understanding of the world and the people who inhabit it. It broadens the perspectives of those who are closed-minded. However, many people are too stubborn to open up. Those closed minds rather argue that immigrants only contribute to more despair in our country, specifically our economy. There are prominent worries amongst the American people when it comes to immigrants and our economy. A specific concern would be our welfare. With inflation increasing along the increased need for employment, it is believed that immigrants are stealing American jobs and decreasing American wages. This is simply false. In reality, immigration has actually increased American wages significantly. The most common jobs people have in America are office clerks, retailers, nurses, and similar occupations. If these are the jobs Americans are afraid of being taken from them, then there should be no worry. The jobs immigrants are most likely to work in are production, transportation, and labor services. Many immigrants participate in high labor jobs, and Americans forget to realize that the deportation of immigrants itself affects the economy more negatively than them staying here.
Simply being, unauthorized immigration by itself is not a criminal offense. And most people, 59% of all removals since 2003 are of people who have never been convicted of a crime.
America is made up of immigrants. Being the most diverse country on the planet, The laws we make to keep out, in their terms, illegal aliens doesn't align with the dream people hope for when they migrated here.
I feel like deportation is really just terrible overall because it splits apart families and stuff, and it really can't really change somebody's or impact somebody's life.
No one deserves to live in constant anxiety. No one deserves to live in fear of being taken away from the home they've built. No one deserves to live in fear of their life being stripped away from them without any concern for their well-being. This is what our immigrant citizens must endure constantly, and it's not right. Contact a representative, talk to your family, reach out to an immigrant you know. Everyone deserves a chance at the American dream.